All right, guys, so there it is. As you can see by now, you should know the announcement as well. I have the image right there in the background. College football is coming back. College football is coming back. EA Sports, of course, will be the one bringing it back. And I'll get into my thoughts here in just a moment. Before we do that, of course, guys, I'm going to remind you to subscribe, cut on your notifications, and hit that like button. Now, before I get started, let me show you something. I have this sweatshirt on for a reason. I want to show you this. Can you guys see this? Can you see that? See what it says there? EA Sports, NCAA football. Now, I got this sweatshirt a while ago. One of the times when I was down at EA Tiburon, doing what I do. And I got this shirt because, listen, like most people, I was a huge fan and still am a huge fan of NCAA. I'm saddened at the fact, guys, that I got rid of my prior gen consoles. I had a 360. I got rid of it. A lot of you guys know my story. I donated it, for a better cause to the less fortunate. And I couldn't play NCAA for quite a long time. However, I have been able to play it using the emulator, the PS3 emulator on my computer, but, still not the same because I can't get that running the right way, but whatever. But I would say all that to say this. I'm a huge fan of NCAA, and I love what you were able to do with NCAA going into Madden, et cetera, in the glory days. But that brings me to my point. First, let's talk about this before I get to my point. Kind of an oxymoron statement right there, right? Before I get to my point, like I said in a tweet earlier, man, I don't expect this game to come out no sooner than 2022. Don't expect it this year. Might not even be 2022. I'm seeing conflicted information. I saw a statement posted, it was supposed to be from Cam Weber saying that it would be 2022, summer of 2022. Then I saw someone else post on Twitter that, it's a 2 to 3 year process. I don't know. My guess would be at the very earliest, I would say 2022. And the reason why I would even be in favor of that, most people don't even have next-gen consoles right now. Not everyone is fortunate enough to have them. So you would probably want to make sure that the platform that you're coming back on, there are multiple people with it, right? That's just business 101. So that's one reason why I wouldn't expect it to release this year. Outside of the obvious, I'm pretty sure they have not been working on that game up until now. I'm pretty sure of that. Okay? So anyway, let's talk about this. Here's how I'm looking at NCAA. NCAA 14 was most of our last experience with it, right? We loved a lot of the things that it offered. Some of the things that it offered still isn't in Madden, right? I always talk about, how NCAA introduced, the scouting and how you had to pitch players to come to your school, et cetera, et cetera. And I've often talked about how they need to implement that type of system in Madden for free agents and re-signing, et cetera, et cetera. It took us a long time to even get the game plan, like the coach adjustment stuff into Madden that was in NCAA. The crowd environment as far as home field advantage and composure, et cetera, still not in Madden. Coaching carousel, still not in Madden. So where I'm going to go with this, obviously I'm excited and happy for NCAA to return, or whatever it's going to be called. We don't know if it's going to be NCAA. They're calling it here, as you can see, college football, EA Sports college football. So we don't know necessarily what the terms and conditions will be, player likeness and all of that, et cetera, et cetera. We still got to work that out, which is another reason why I think don't expect it to come out this year. Again, I know people are optimistic, but don't just read the headline. Like, use your third eye a little bit. But here's where I'm going with it. What does this mean for Madden? Okay? And I hope that this desperately and seriously puts pressure on not the developers. Let's pause for a moment. Not so much the developers. The developers are good guys. Y'all know that. I say this all the time. They want the game to be as good as we do. Now, can you blame the developers for what they do put out as far as how the product that they put on display, how everything functions? Sure. You go at developers for bugs and things like that, but in terms of global development, that's not on the developers. It has to go through a chain of command. So what I meant to say was, what does those who make the decision those who decide where Madden's gonna go, the investors, et cetera, the suits, as I call them. What do they think at this point in terms of do they have to push Madden further along? Because I seriously think this puts pressure on Madden, which is one reason why I'm ecstatic that this game is coming back, because that's the only NFL product we have to date in terms of, simulation product. Of course, we got to see what 2K is offering with their non-simulation NFL product, but this is the reason why I wanted at least some type of football game to return. Before NCAA went away, a lot of people were starting to say they liked it more than they liked Madden, which put pressure on Madden, correct? So I think at the very worst, what we're going to get is a situation where we potentially have two football games that people enjoy, right? That's what I hope that this does, because I miss that experience when we used to be able to import your NCAA rosters and continue their career in Madden, especially for content creators. For content creators, this is beyond, what will it do to your channels? And not even just your channels. You guys know me. I don't have the biggest channel in the world. A lot of the content that I put out is stuff I enjoy to do. So, if I get views and if I grow, great. But you guys know I usually only put out stuff that I enjoy to do. And this would definitely be one of those things if both games are satisfying. Being able to create those careers, and bring that offline story to you guys who enjoy that type of thing. From NCAA to Madden and continuing it. We all used to do that. Most of us used to do that when they had, that brief moment when they had the ability to import your draft class into Madden. It was golden. It was golden for a lot of us that were offline players. Now imagine it, for us also, because I do both, offline and online. Imagine that. Being in a league with your current Madden franchise people, and you guys create an NCAA online, and you can import that into Madden. Come on, man. Come on. Well, you could literally be scouting players as you're going through your dynasty, your online dynasty with your buddies or what have you. And then bam, here they are already coming over into Madden online via an import. So these are the type of things, EA Sports, that us hardcore gamers and simulation-minded gamers are looking for. That connectivity. But outside of that, that's going to force Madden to be a much better game on and off the field. I'm talking depth. Franchise people, where we at? Where you at? Please stand up. I'm talking about us hardcore franchise guys actually having some depth in the mode. That is a must now. A must. Because it would be a horrendous fail if there's no connectivity from the college football game into Madden. And in order to do that properly, that means Madden would have to be at a high level in terms of depth. So I'm ecstatic by this news. I'm ecstatic by any opportunity of competition being brought to Madden's way, whether it's in-house or outside the house. Same thing I said about 2K's non-simulation, quote fingers, product. I hope that does the same thing. Because the fans, football fans, deserve a full-blown, fleshed-out NFL product that is both great on and off the field. Because you guys know what I always say about franchise mode. To me, gameplay and franchise go hand in hand. So that's what I'm the most excited about. I'm excited at the fact that we might have something here. Very excited by that. So we'll see. But like I said, the pressure is on for the Madden investors. Make this game a real game. Gameplay needs to be stellar. Depth needs to be stellar. Period. Is any game perfect? Absolutely not. But you know what we're talking about. You need to be striving for the best possible gameplay there is, as well as the deepest franchise experience there is, especially since the quote-unquote little brother is coming back into the fold. So that's it. That's all I got. Those are my thoughts. We shall see. And like I said, don't expect anything anytime soon. But that's going to do it, guys. And of course, I'm going to remind you, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Cut on your notifications. Hit that like button. Catch you in the next one. Peace.